This episode is brought to you ad-free thanks to all of our wonderful patrons. You can get tons of exclusive content, including bonus episodes, warm-up audio, and early access to episodes, all while helping us keep the show going by joining at patreon.com/shonenflop.
Welcome to Shonen Flop Chibi, First Impressions mini-episode where we talk about the first chapter of the series we'll be covering in depth next week with our guest, Jan, the official series translator.
Hell yeah. We know people love us having official translators on the show, so we try our best to get them when we can.
And by people, I mean us, because we love having the official translators. It's great. I'm Jordan, and with me today, as usual, is my lovely co-host, David. Say hi, David.
Hi, David.
And what series we covering this week, David?
Oh, I should have given you a chill response, because we are covering Two on Ice, the Icening.
The ice, yeah. Oh, man, it's a shame that, One on Ice never got translated, you know?
Yeah, or Baruto Ice.
What?
I was trying to make some shitty Baruto.
Oh.
Three on Ice. That's going to be the series next hit.
Through on Bice. Yeah.
Yes.
There we go. Yeah.
Just thruple on ice skates.
Brew on Ice. Anyway.
Tell us about the series, Jordan.
So this is Two on Ice. It was written by Itsumo Ai. This ran from September 25th, 2023 to April 15th, 2024. 28 chapters, 4 volumes. I will say, initially we thought it had 31. On the Shonen Jump app, there are only 28. This points to maybe there was a 3-chapter epilogue, but there's only 28 on the Jump app, so that's what we're reading.
Yeah. And then, Jordan, what happened in this first chapter?
Oh, David, it sounds like you want to go into the plot summary.
I always do.
Well, let's do it. Third grader Hayuma is really good at sports and just started learning how to ice skate when he goes to a figure skating competition with his mom. There he sees a girl who's an incredible prodigy that can do flippy jumps and shit, and he's mesmerized. He briefly talks to her and decides that he's gonna become as good as her and uses her as a role model. He watches her on TV when she's reported on for being so damn skillful, David. But then, in 5th grade, when the world needed her most, she disappeared.
She vanished.
Without a trace for 100 years, Popcorn David.
Years later, Hayuma and his family move to Tokyo and discover a girl in an iceberg.
Oh, God.
Hayuma spends the past few years sneaking out and practicing figure skating in secret on a frozen lake, and is psyched that there are indoor rinks here. He is quickly reprimanded for jumping, which is against the rules of free skate time, and he realizes that, holy shit, the girl scolding him is that very prodigy. And can I say, it seems like a very reasonable policy. You cannot do advanced ice skating moves during free skate.
That is fair, yes, because if you fuck up, you could run into a bunch of people, and you guys have blades on your feet.
Yeah, she invites him to come by later so she can teach him more better, as Jordan has written. And she notices that his techniques are like hers because he copied her moves. She tells him that she quit single skating because she wanted to focus on couple skating and invites him to be her temporary partner. He asks her name and she says it's Kisara Satome, confirming that she is the prodigy and is the exact same move that was used at the end of the first chapter of Dan Da Dan, which is a much better series but has absolutely nothing in common besides that just being a trope in that first chapter as well.
That's true, although I will say there's a bit in common with the manga we just covered.
Yes. So now I'm thinking this guy is Taskmaster, or he has a Sharingan, where if he sees someone doing an ice skating movie, he just copies it. But my stupid idea is I was thinking about that scene in Blade where he says it's as hard as ice skating uphill. And they kind of talk about that, and I'm just thinking, what if they're ice skating uphill and Blade is just watching them in astonishment?
I do like that.
So that'll be the cover art if Jordan can't think of anything better.
Or 2 ice cubes, you know? I'm just saying, just 2 ice cubes sitting there. That is a possibility, you know?
I don't know what to do with that information. But Jordan, what was your first impressions of this?
The art is very inconsistent. A lot of it feels kind of unfinished, unpolished.
Yeah.
But then there are moments where I really love this guy's shading. There's a lot of mass that he puts in there. It almost looks like watercolor, which is impressive because it's just, he's using like an ink pen. It's interesting because it's not bad art. It's just, you know, there are parts where it's bad. There are parts where the art is bad.
Yeah.
There's a moment where you just have 2 straight up fucking stick figures talking at each other, which was insane.
There's a lot of lack of shading at times.
A lot of lack of shading, a lot of drawings with very little detail on them. But every now and then, there's a drawing that's just a banger.
You know what, that's fair. And Jordan has alluded, this reminds me a lot of Green Green Greens in that it doesn't, because this is nowhere near as good as Green Green Greens' first chapter.
No, but the bones are there.
A collection of bones, you might say.
Oh, no, I don't mean that. I mean, you have a guy who is interested in learning from this girl who's extremely proficient at her sport of choice, and so he tries copying her. But at the same time, yeah, besides that, actually, nah, I'm not really sure there's much in common.
Yeah, that's okay. I also want to say there is a lot of text. I've also heard complaints that it continues to have a fuck ton of text.
Oh, great.
So Hunter x Hunter, I guess, is coming back, so get ready for that, Jordan.
David, I have been trying so many times to catch up on Hunter x Hunter, but it's like reading a book, and it would be easier if it just was a book.
It would actually probably finish, because then Tagashi could actually do his whole plot idea.
Because then it's like you would know, like you're used to reading a book like a book, but it's like you're reading a comic and it's like a book, and it's like there's as much words as a book, and it's what the fuck is happening? It's very hard to like process the whole thing. It's a Game of Thrones level of complexity. Anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about fucking Two on Ice, which I was like, isn't that the gay ice skating?
Yuri on Ice.
Yeah.
I thought about making a guess if there will be any ambiguously homosexual characters in this series, but it felt a little inappropriate.
It's funny because it's literally a manga about a guy and a girl teaming up versus Yuri on Ice, which is...
Yeah, but they're just friends.
They're just friends for now.
I also want to say, man, nothing about this chapter made me interested in ice skating.
No, me neither. I don't care at all. What's funny is that I think I cared more about ice skating than I did about golf, and I don't give a fuck about this. I care significantly more after the first chapter of Green Green Greens than I do after this.
Yeah, I feel like the big thing about golf is you could just go play golf. You're never going to do professional figure skating.
You can go to an ice skating rink and stuff, but like...
You could go play a game of golf tomorrow if you wanted.
That's true. I mean, if you live in a certain area, you could go and try to do this, I guess. But professional? No, probably not.
I also feel like this chapter in structure, there's so much text, and it's, along with not caring about skating, I don't care about these characters, and I really don't like how it front-loaded his entire backstory without giving me a reason to give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just did not care about this character's backstory this early in the series.
I will say, I do appreciate how he's not in love with her, like he genuinely idolizes her skill. But it is still like, I don't know, that is kind of what happened in Green Green Greens.
I think this series is going to suffer because we read probably one of the best sports manga that we've ever covered on the show, if not the best sports manga.
I mean, that we covered on the show, at least. Easily.
Yeah, it's also, in contrast to Green and Greens, all these characters feel like ice skating robots. There's no little jokes. They only talk and only care about ice skating. Nothing actually makes these characters feel like people.
Nothing really happened in this chapter. There wasn't really any kind of conflict that was resolved.
Yeah, what a colossal waste of like 60 pages.
It does feel like a waste. The main plot of this chapter is, man, where's this girl that I thought was really cool? Oh, damn, here's the girl that I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
We're teaming up now.
They also say what the name of the arc is at the start of the arc. It just felt very weird. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Bold of them to be like, yeah, this is a whole arc. We're going to have multiple arcs.
Yeah. And then Jordan, though, how about you? Is there anything we haven't brought up yet you want to discuss?
It was a little bit confusing how much he even knew about her. We both thought that he didn't even know Kisara's name until like literally the last moment where she says her name and then he recognizes like, oh, I guess he did know her name. Okay.
Yeah.
It is kind of odd that it didn't come up at all until then.
Yeah. It's just poor writing and confusing.
Yeah, because then when she says her name, if we knew what her name was, it would be like, oh shit, that's her. But instead we had to get another text box where he's like, oh shit, it's her.
Imagine if they have to fight the Chimera Ant
with
ice skating.
What if the Chimera Ant arc was narrated by Ron Howard?
Then maybe I would have tolerated it. Anyway, Jordan, would you read our 10 chapters of this?
Nah.
And before we get into what we think will happen next, if you've been enjoying the show, we'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to the Shonen Flop YouTube. We're trying to hit our goal of 1,500 YouTube subs, and if we do it, we will do a special bonus episode on the Build King epilogue.
Oh my god.
If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. And what do you think will happen next, Jordan?
First of all, I think this is going to end up being a romance manga. I think they're going to be together. I'm getting that vibe. I think they're going to flash forward at the end when they're big, famous skaters and stuff. And the last one is that she really left the public eye due to a tragedy. How about you?
What daring guesses?
Hey, I need points.
Let me get a shonen with a male and female protagonist that are going to fall in love, and there's a time skip at the end, and the main character had an incident.
They did not fall in love in Green Green Greens.
That's true.
Nor did they fall in love in Martial Master Asumi. Sure, one of the main character had a crush.
I mean, it did happen in Full Drive though.
Yeah, it happened in Full Drive. And is there another one?
Yes, maybe.
Okay.
Let me look at the schedule.
Okay.
Did they fall in love in Double Arts?
No. At least I'm pretty sure they aren't.
Oh, Wizard Soul they did. We're on the last fucking page.
Yeah, but that was position. In the first chapter, they were we both have a crush on each other.
Fair enough. And then, Jordan, my guesses are they aren't going to explain how the main character got insanely good, because I think that is absolutely ridiculous. He does not have a fucking, that's a legit superpower if he could teach himself off of recordings. I think that's an unfair explanation for how he got so good.
They did say that he practiced a lot.
Yes, but you need practice and coaching, because you can practice wrongly for 10,000 hours.
That's fair.
I also think the main male character is going to try and do a big skating move in a competition, and then he fails. Oh, no. And this will not increase my interest in skating in the slightest. In fact, I may end up caring about skating less after reading this.
I think that is possible.
And then, Jordan, what's your power word?
Cracked.
Why cracked?
Because it's an ice skating rink that is cracked because it's not very strong or stable.
Fair. Mine is cold, because I gave this a very cold reception.
That is true.
And ice skating has a little bit to do with cold temperatures.
A little bit.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
Jordan, you ready for the Q&A?
Let's do it.
All right, let's move on to that. So let's now move on to the Q&A. Just a reminder, you can drop your questions in the Shonen Flop Discord. Give priority to those who haven't asked a question before, our patrons, or haven't had a question answered in a long time. Starting with Dude Rocks, what's your favorite month, and what is your least favorite month?
My birthday is in August, and I do like the summer, so I'm going to say my favorite is August. As for, least favorite, I don't know. I mean, April's kind of meh.
I would say I actually don't like August because it's so hot.
Damn.
And humid. I will say, though, my favorite month, I quite like October. Get to have the big spooky holiday. It's getting cold enough, but not so cold that you need to wear a jacket at all times.
October's very good, yes. October might be my second favorite.
I know that's not a hot take to like October.
No, not at all.
Next up, Meru asks, what's your favorite place to sit and read Jump?
The toilet.
Mine is in my bed. I like to do my Shonen Flop reading when I wake up before Rachel does.
Nice. Yeah, it's either the bathroom or my bed. That's it. That's kind of where I do it.
Big two.
The main places that I am during the day.
All right, next up, from Captain Clueless, what flop protagonist would run the best business and what would they sell?
I was thinking about this. I mean, on one hand, I initially thought maybe Cyborg Grandpa G, because I at least know what he would sell. It's vegetables. But on the other hand, I'm pretty sure he would scare off all business. So I don't think that would be very successful.
I feel the lady from Candy Flurry would open a really good candy shop.
Yeah.
I also think BT, when he got older, would just be able to sell fucking anything.
I mean, BT, I feel like would be just a straight up con artist. He would sell...
He did steal dinosaur fossils.
Yeah. You know what? I think that, the kid from Mora King would sell, supplies to take care of bugs and insects.
You know, I respect that. Actually, the guy from Super Smartphone could just sell his information for a ton of money.
He could sell information. Yeah, that is true.
All right, next from ZZ Digital. Which flop protagonist would create the worst manga?
I mean, canonically, it's the guy from Takama Gahara.
Yeah.
He literally made a manga so bad that it, made people, knocked people unconscious or something,
I was thinking the guy from... Fuck, I just had it. Oh, Jim Naruto, because it would just be extremely racist and probably star him as a huge Mary Sue, and everyone would be like, this sucks.
Yeah, the manga he made would just be Tokyo Shinobi Squad, but, with worse art.
Yeah. Do you think it's really easy to be a good artist in the world of Zon because everyone is drawn so shittily? So it's if the character draws and it's cartoony, is that photorealism?
David, that's a question you could ask for literally every artist in any cartoon. It's well, if they draw this character cartoony, is that photorealism? Because they're cartoons.
Some things deal with that. SpongeBob, I think, has live action as their cartoons, which I thought was cute.
That is, yeah. I don't know if I've noticed that. I noticed that he watches live action stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or some do it where it's a 2D animation and the cartoons are 3D.
Okay.
It's cute.
Maybe in the world of Zon, it has to be actually photorealistic then, because it is such a departure from how people are supposed to look.
All right, next from Oogling20, they have what's one manga that clearly is not a flop that you really think should have been a flop?
So there's two ways to read this. One is, what's a manga that sucks that is very famous? Or the other one is, what's a manga by all accounts, by like how we cover manga, what's a manga that Shonen Jump would have axed? You know? For instance, if it started today, Kinnikuman 100% would have gotten axed because the first arc of Kinnikuman is fucking horrible.
I mean, part 1 of JoJo also, I don't think would have survived.
I don't know, because the weirdness of JoJo. I don't know.
It was just Bad Fist and North Star, though.
That's true.
I mean, I still think, what's the one about the assassin family?
Mission Family?
Yeah, I still can't believe Mission Family is now going to be like the 3rd longest running Shonen Jump series right now.
It is?
Not total, like, running in Shonen Jump. When One Piece is on break and there's no Hunter x Hunter, it is the oldest manga in Shonen Jump.
What?
Right?
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I will also say that I read the first chapter of Undead Unluck, and that is bad.
Oh, we're going to do an episode on that soon.
Oh, cool. I don't know. Maybe it gets better, but...
It started in 2019, by the way. So Mission Family has been running for 5 years.
Damn.
Yeah. Also, Jujutsu Kaisen, fuck your ending. Anyway, no spoilers. Just what a shit ending. Gage definitely gave up. Or Gay.
That sucks. That's so sad.
Yeah, he really was on autopilot for the last 2 years of that. Finally, from Mr. Davey, if you had to make a non-action game based on a Jump manga, what would you pick and what would it be about?
Damn, who's this Mr. Davey guy?
I don't know. Imagine if it was like a fucking Candy Tycoon game about Candy Flurry.
See, my idea was Kako and the False Detective. It's like a Phoenix Wright style game.
Oh, I was thinking it'd be more like a point and click.
I mean, that's kind of what Phoenix Wright is.
Yeah.
It is kind of a point and click game.
Actually, Takeki Ryusei probably would make a good Yakuza game, or actually it probably could make like a good strategy game.
I mean, it would probably make a good Yakuza game because the Fist of the North Star game is literally a Yakuza game. But yeah, maybe a strategy one.
Also, the low-hanging fruit is also sports games based on any of the sports series.
Yeah, but that is, as you said, low-hanging fruit.
Yeah. I feel Mama Yu Yu could make a really fun turn-based RPG.
I think I can see that.
Just make a fucking fighting game about what's her name.
Oh, shit, yeah. Fuck, Minerva.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. Idle fighting game, yeah. Maybe one of the best jokes in, like, any of the manga we've covered, by the way.
I really wish there was precedent where he could have just made a manga about Minerva after this got canceled.
It would have been better.
How about an edutainment game about Hungry Marie? Or, sorry, an edutainment game about, why am I spacing on it? Hungry Joker.
Or we mentioned it, like, I think last week, you know, like a dating sim based on Teenage Renaissance David.
Yeah. Oh, and Ozu obviously could be like a zoo simulator.
Yeah, and Doron can be like a Pokemon game.
Actually, that sounds pretty dope if it was like XCOM style, where the zoo is your base and then you send people in the zoo off to missions at night.
Oh my god.
That actually sounds really fun.
That does sound like Madagascar a little bit.
Yeah. Oh my god. All right, but that's all the time we have for questions today. Jordan, I want to say thank you so much for all your hard work on the show.
Thank you, David, for everything that you do on the show.
Props to Shannon for the awesome cover art. Find her online at illuminyatea. Thank you, Dylan, for assistance with editing. You can find his podcast, Anime Out of Context, at animeoutofcontext.com. Thanks to Tucker and Maxi B for assistance with pronunciation, translation, and other miscellaneous research. Find us on Twitter at ShonenFlopcast, Tumblr, Shonen-Flop, and our website, ShonenFlop.com. We're on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, or wherever else you get your podcast. You can find us on Twitter at ShonenFlopcast, Tumblr, Shonen-Flop, and our website, ShonenFlop.com. We're also on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, wherever else you get your podcast. If you want more weekly David and Jordan content, you can find us every Friday on the Chainsaw Minute, where we talk about the latest chapter of Chainsaw Man. Find it at csm.libsyn.com or wherever else you listen to Shonen Flop, and come join the Shonen Flop Discord. It's open to everyone, patron or not. Hang out with us, talk about anime, games, whatever else is on your mind. Have a book club, we have a movie night, ton of fun. Find a link to it in the show notes or on our site, shonenflop.com. And if you've been enjoying the podcast and want to help us keep going, subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/shonenflop. Along with that warm and fuzzy feeling of helping us out, you also get access to monthly bonus episodes, including Shonen Drop, where Jordan and I look back at the previous month's episode and open the mystery box. Jordan, what was our bonus episode this month, and what are we going to talk about in the October mystery box?
David, I finally got you to read Get a Robo.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And then the mystery box, we're going to read the pilot for Cool Shock BT.
Yes, the proto BT. BT before he was BT.
BTBC.
Yes, the PTBC BT. A Hideo Kojima production.
Yeah.
And if that's not enough, our perks include picking a manga for us to cover in a main episode, episodes up to a week in advance, and behind-the-scenes content like warm-up audio or recording notes. I also want to read off our wonderful patrons. Starting with our Dolphin Dad tiers, we have Chugme, you move like epilepsy.
Hi, OC Rat.
Do you like the way I smack your ass? Do you ever feel like a plastic bag? Glornak and Rachel, my wonderful wife, she made a delicious apple cobbler last night. It was fantastic. Moving on down to the Ravioli tier. Ravioli's silly fact this week is she has now gotten so used to me feeding her frozen peas. Whenever I take peas out, she just looks at the floor, assuming I've already thrown some on the ground. We have Chris, Eva, Jenna Davis, Lady T, Matt, Scarlett Mirmanen, T, Tiffany, and Trevor. Moving on down to the King of the Forest, we have 090Z, Bandit Stoof,
my girlfriend,
Brad, Chad, Ivan, Jacob Andregawe, Justin, Kirbymon, Marty, Noah, Riley, Sarah, T. Wolfwood, and Tommy Boy. Moving on down to Galactic Ball Federation officers, we have a mid-sized sedan, Ages, Andrew, Andy, Aura, Biza, Blamumu, Brandon M, Brian Sexton, Cole, David, Dennis, Don't Dox Me Datterson, Drago, Drew, Dylan Crider, Nigel, who I just actually had breakfast with yesterday, Fax Kellerman, Flash Cardman, Funky Green, Overdrive, aka Funky, our newest patron, thank you for joining, Generic Man, Hey Randall, Ian McConnell, Inert Snick, Joe, Keanu, Lay, Manly Pihal, Marabara, Matt Silvich, congrats on getting married, Mike Carpenter, Obscure Reference, Jordan, what's your got anything for us?
Discordance Axis is a really good grindcore band.
I had a moment with my friend where he was talking about how he's trying to make money off his meetup groups, and I was like, there's gotta be a way to make money off of this. But I love that show. I think you should leave. But I don't remember the name of the show, though. Resident Warhammer Nerd, Savia, Scott Fischler, Sybil, Silly Rookie, Simping for Senpai Ash, Staghorn, Taperclip, Tucker Watley, Wright, and ZZ Digital, and a big thank you as well to our Beast Children.
Yes, I love all of you very much.
All right, Jordan, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for listening. Tune in next Monday for our full thoughts on Two and Ice featuring Jan, the official translator.
Yeah. This has been Jordan.
This has been David.
And you've been listening to Shonen Flop. David, say it.
Keep on flopping floppers.
Bye.